Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2023 Heisman finalists. And oh my goodness, do we have a list? There's only one person on this Heisman list who I would easily kick out. And even then, he had a great season and did great, but it'd have to be Bo Nix. I feel like with Michael Penix on this list and Michael Penix beating him twice, I can't have Bo Nix on this list. I'd rather have somebody else who potentially could fit the Heisman. But in terms of Bo Nix, he lost to one of the other candidates twice. That's just an easy answer of he's not winning it. But Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Michael Penix Jr., I've done infinite thinking. I've even been in comment sections chatting about how Jaden Daniels should win it. But really sitting here trying to decipher my reasoning for Jaden Daniels, I can't decide. I'm sitting here trying to say why Jaden Daniels should win it more than Michael Penix, and then I get stumped. And then I'm like, well, why should Marvin Harrison Jr. not win it? All three of these players were, I'd say, beyond 50% of the reason why their teams were any good. Jaden Daniels, I'd say he's like a good 63% of the reason why. Probably like 73%. Without this dude and his abilities, his team would not be a 3-loss team. That defense would not survive in the SEC without a quarterback like Jaden Daniels. Ohio State's offense would be like Iowa if they did not have a star receiver basically picking apart defenses every time he played. And Michael Penix Jr. may have had a lot of close finishes, but was pretty much the sole purpose and reason why they went undefeated. I mean, it's really a split decision because it's like you got Michael Penix, which it's like Michael Penix was one of the main reasons why Washington went undefeated. Marvin Harrison Jr. was the team and the defense. Their defense was great, but in terms of the offense, Marvin Harrison Jr. was great. And Jaden Daniels. Without Jaden Daniels, this team would be like, I don't even know if this team would have made a bowl game with how horrific their defense is. If you give this LSU team a defense, I think this LSU team is winning the national championship. Now, that is a little difficult to say with first game of the year against Florida State being holding LSU, I think, to the lowest point total all year, but that might have been a little different if LSU's defense could have, gotten stops or something like that. It was a tight game with LSU going up 3.5, and then the defense just fell apart. But I don't know, man. I'm really struggling, and I think what originally was going to be my Heisman choice has just become this is one of the best Heisman finalists, Heisman ceremonies we've seen in a very long time. I feel bad for Bo Nix because Bo Nix has had a great year, but I believe there was a stat of he only threw X amount of passes for 20 yards, and it was not a good number. He does throw a lot of short passes and whatnot, whereas Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., they sling it, man. They sling that ball. I mean, heck, to beat Oregon in the first matchup of the year, Michael Penix got that ball back and slung the rock and put them up. Jaden Daniels, we know he's got a cannon. He's also got jets. He can do it all. He's the definition of a dual-threat quarterback. I don't know why he looks like that in this picture, though, honestly. It's like he was about to blink or something. That's just not how Jaden Daniels looks. What the? Why they gotta do him like that, bro? Marvin Harrison Jr., this dude cannot be double covered. He cannot be covered, nor can he be double covered. He was Mr. Do It All, and if only, if Kyle McCord, I've been hating on Kyle McCord, but honestly, Kyle McCord only has one real option to throw it to, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, the rest of the receivers are pretty mid. They're pretty mid. But The only person I can really knock off this list, and I feel like everybody can agree with me, is Bo Nix. I'm sorry, Oregon fans, but you can't lose twice to Michael Penix Jr. and expect to win the Heisman. I'm sorry. It's just not you can't. They had to win the Pac-12 championship for that. But I mean, man, I don't even know. I don't even know, man. I literally thought I had the reasoning down with Jaden Daniels single-handedly being the team for LSU, being so good. And then it's like you look at Michael Penix and what he did in some games. You look at Marvin Harrison Jr. and what he has done, and it's like they're all great candidates. So simply, let me know your reasoning down in the comments. Hell, throw Bo Nix in there. If you think Bo Nix should win it, let me know why. But honestly, if I have to select somebody, I'm going to stick with Jaden Daniels, even though I want Michael Penix Jr. to win it so bad. I'm going to stick with Jaden Daniels. It's crazy that he was ASU's quarterback a couple years ago. Yeah, a couple years ago. But I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. He has the one-up on Michael Penix Jr. in terms of, like, the quarterbacking abilities, and it's running the ball. He can run. Very, very good. I think Michael Penix has like a total of negative 24 rushing yards, and that's because of like sacks and shit. But Jaden Daniels has like 1,008 touchdowns on the ground or something like that. He is really, really good. He is the definition of dual threat. I'm excited to see what all these players do in the NFL, especially even Bo Nix. Like, I don't think he'll get drafted that high, but I'm still interested to see what he does. But yeah, man, just let me know what you guys think at this point. But I just made this to kind of, talk about it. I thought it's interesting. You only get a Heisman ceremony once a year, so. But yeah. That's what I think. Like and subscribe would help. A comment always helps, and that's all for me. Adios.